Hey everyone, this is Fake for Life. In today's P4L review, we'll be taking a quick look and fix at the FP Core FansProject Core WB-008 Trianix Alpha or Trianix Alpha, depending on the box or um, materials that you got with it. So I think that was a typo. In any case, I didn't do a review on this initially because of the fact that it came out that there were some problems with the connector piece. FP Core basically came out and said that there was a little mishap at the factory when they made some plastic, material changes to make there be kind of a balance between stiffness and ease of use for separating the main body part for Alpha Trianix. And so a lot of people were getting some breakages. FP Core was really great about immediately saying that they were working on a fix. So this is a temporary fix they sent for me, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do this. And hopefully when you get your replacement parts, which are coming out very shortly to everyone, you'll be able to get this done fairly quickly. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the pieces that come with the fix kit, I guess. There are two pieces. One is the entire front of the cycle. And you're not going to need most of this, honestly. Really, the only main area is this part. And so in this instruction or fix, I'm only going to replace this piece because it's far easier to replace just this one piece, and it doesn't require popping pins or anything like that. Otherwise, if you wanted to replace this entire piece, you would need to pop this pin here, which is a little bit harder to get to. And honestly, popping pins is kind of a pain, and a lot of people haven't done that before, and so I kind of want to avoid that. I'm guessing the official instructions will show you how to actually pop the pin and everything like that, but I want to make this as easy as possible for the viewers. So you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver for that, and while you may not need it, I recommend getting like a pair of needle nose pliers or pliers in general, and I'll show you why you need that in a bit. So that's the first major piece. The second piece is another piece that you may not need, and it's the mushroom peg piece that is the connector that goes in here, that goes into the bottom half, that goes into the top, and that's what this gray piece actually clips onto. And that all you need is a small Phillips head. So I'm going to show you how to do both of those. All right. The first thing we'll do is show you the part. So I actually already replaced it, but I'm going to walk you through the process. So you can actually go ahead and pull that out. It's not as worrisome as before, but it's also strong enough where he's not going to just fall off. Let me remove this Solaron guy, whatever they call him. So yeah, same thing, you do have to apply some pressure to get him off, but it's not like before where you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to break him. So the small part here is the easiest to replace. Should you need it, you're just going to take your Phillips head, unscrew this, and then screw this back on. So let's do that really quickly. Just takes 1 second. Again, you may or may not need to do that. I don't think this piece was actually changed in terms of hardness. I think it was just the gray inner piece. Oh, one thing to note is that there are notches in here that correspond to notches in the base. So when you stick this on, you want to make sure that those notches are aligned, and you can just feel it where right there. It sinks right in. If you have it tilted in any way, it's not gonna go in. It's not gonna sit evenly. So just twist it around until you feel it sit in and lock into place. Hold it very gently and screw. So yeah, that's one part done. So for this piece, I'm doing something a little bit unconventional, but I think it's far easier than popping a bunch of pins. So, I mean, really you need to get access to this part, right? This piece, that's it. None of the rest of this stuff has changed from what I've been told and what I can tell. It's just this little gray connector piece. So, You know, you could try to replace the entire piece here, but to do that, you would need to go ahead and split this part in half. And to do that, you actually need to pop this pin out of here, which popping pins is kind of a pain in general. And this one is a little bit easier to get to. Yeah, you just need something small and like a hammer to, you know, sharply hit this through, and then pull it out and then pop it back in later. But I find that to be a little challenging. And again, so this probably isn't the recommended way that FP Core and Fans Project want you to do this, but this is why I'm showing you guys because I think it's the easiest way for most people. So I took out these screws, these two small Phillips head screws, pretty simple. And then I try to split this open a little bit. If you need a tool just to give you a little bit, just widen it just a bit. And then what I end up doing is taking a noodle pair of pliers and basically just, or you can probably use another tool of some sort, and just basically getting it out like this. Then I grab on and just keep pulling it out. Come on. This was working a lot better before. There we go. And this is the only piece you need, right? So I just go ahead and pull that out, and then on the new piece, which I've already have installed, you do kind of the opposite. You just kind of stick it in here. These tabs do have to face forward and back, like that. Straighten it out. Oops, went too far. I straightened it back out like this, and then that was it. I mean, you might get a little bit of external damage there, but that doesn't really matter because you're only really worried about the inside, because that's where the connector is. But again, that's probably not, honestly, probably not the best instructions on how to do that. But I think it's probably the one that will be the least challenging for most people and the least damaging overall, least amount of risk for the payoff. Because replacing the whole piece, like I said, does require you to go ahead and pop this pin out. And it's kind of in an awkward place because it's sunken in. And then you have to push this out, which I've done this while trying to do the instructions. I popped it out and popped it back in. It's overall, I think, a little bit more challenging than I think you really need. And again, since you're only really getting at that piece, personally, I would recommend doing that. But once you have that done, you'll have this piece and this piece all finished. And transform this back correctly. Peg that in. And then you'll have the upper body and lower body. You just apply a little bit of pressure, and you're good. Again, solid. And then, again, you do have to apply some amount of pressure, but not so much that you feel like you're going to break it. And that's it.